Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
If you liked yesterday, here comes another. I'll show you what time our temperatures climb into the 70s.
State of schools. Wake County Superintendent will give an address today. The issues we expect him to focus on.
And protecting federal orders. State leaders will consider removing power from North Carolina's Attorney General. What we know about legislation that would prevent Jeff Jackson from joining lawsuits against President Trump's executive orders. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. We have the news to get you started on your day. It's going to be a wonderful feeling day. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your routine here as we wind down the days in February. We are getting some special treats
February
here.
26th.
Yeah, the days are numbered, February, and it's going out with a whimper here. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Yeah, feeling good out there. It's a little bit on the chilly side this morning. And look at this. Here it is 6 o'clock, and we're already seeing a little bit of daylight here on some of the cameras. This is a live look at Franklinton. So beautiful sunrise in our forecast for this morning. It is 40 degrees in the Triangle with a light wind, and we'll take a look at temperatures. Some of those temperatures in the 30s right now. 32 in Roxborough, 37 in South Hill and Goldsboro, 39 in the Southern Pines and Fayetteville, 38 in Clinton. Most likely we'll see everybody dropping into the 30s here in the next hour, and then it's a fast warm up. Mid 60s at lunchtime and low 70s for this afternoon. Great day to spend your lunch hour outside or the afternoon. Even after work, our temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s with lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, a different story. It is not going to rain all day, but I'll show you when you can expect to see some showers and storms. Ken?
6:01, Elizabeth, happening now. It's been a rather quiet start to your morning commute, short of this crash here on Gorman Street proper, right near I-40 eastbound, not causing any problems for you this morning. And really, all our major routes are delay-free, including, let's head over to Durham, shall we? Give you a live look at I-885 at T.W. Alexander Drive. Traffic's picking up just a bit, but moving nicely in all directions. You're getting ready to head out the door. Take us with you. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Covering Wake County tonight, we will hear from School Superintendent Robert Taylor in his State of the Schools address. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Southeast Raleigh High School, and Kelsey Taylor is expected to talk about what the future looks like for the school system.
Yes, Jeff, Superintendent Robert Taylor will be speaking here at Southeast Raleigh High School later tonight. This address will come at a critical time for the school district. It comes after county commissioners met with the school board yesterday. They discussed how the board may need $29 million more next year. That money would go towards accommodating more students, opening 4 new schools, and increasing employee benefits. School leaders are also bracing for cuts in federal funding. Right now, the district is still facing issues with more than $200 million in deferred HVAC maintenance. That's led to at least 28 early dismissals already this year, leaving students with even less time in the classroom after several snow days. Our team will interview the superintendent before his speech. You can watch that interview on our later newscast. You can also live stream the address on WRAL.com at 6. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Today, Republican lawmakers in Raleigh are moving to protect President Donald Trump's executive orders. You're looking live at the legislative building right now. WRAL's Brett Nace is outside the building this morning. And Brett, GOP senators are looking at the bill that would limit the Attorney General's powers.
That's right, Renee. Good morning. And this bill would not allow Attorney General Jeff Jackson to sign on to any lawsuits against President Trump's executive orders. The Senate Judiciary Committee is going to be the committee that looks at this bill later today. And it really has to do with GOP senators wanting to protect those Trump executive orders that he has been signing since being sworn into office in January. Now, Jackson, of course, is a Democrat. He has already signed on to a couple of such lawsuits. North Carolina's Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie says that even if this bill were to pass, it would likely face a number of challenges.
Now, Republican lawmakers here have been trying for years to take away some of the powers of the governor's office, and now they're starting to move into the attorney general's office. Those are both executive branch offices, so we can expect to see a court battle over this one.
Senate Judiciary Committee will meet at 2 this afternoon to discuss the bill. Live in downtown Raleigh, Brett Nace, WRAL News.
Also today, a $500 million aid package to help farmers recovering from Helene could take a step forward in the General Assembly. The money would go to farmers who lost crops due to drought last year, as well as to those who were impacted by Helene. Representative Jimmy Dixon, a senior member of House leadership, is pushing for the special relief bill for agriculture. NC Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie says his clout should ensure the bill makes it through the House, but it could face a challenge in the Senate. The House Ag Committee will meet at 11 this morning.
Also, Renee, President Donald Trump's budget blueprint is moving forward. This is a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where last night House Republicans narrowly advanced the bill that outlines the framework of Trump's agenda. The vote was 217 to 215 in favor of advancing the bill. All Democrats and one Republican voted against it. An hour before the vote, Speaker Mike Johnson was ready to pull it. Several GOP lawmakers were initially opposed to the plan, but Johnson was able to get the votes he needed. That bill will now go to House committees that'll work on details before sending it to the Senate.
Raleigh police say an ongoing feud by rival gangs was the reason behind hundreds of shots fired into cars and homes last summer. Police say the feud started in August in the Hedingham community. A home on Shadow Glen Drive was peppered with bullets, and then a home on Haling Drive was hit a day later. The next day, shots were fired into a home on Brandycrest Drive in southeast Raleigh. Police say a group called the Wicket Street Gang was involved. So far, one man, Anthony Woodard, has been arrested and indicted on gun charges.
Some of North Carolina's top Republicans want state law enforcement officials to work on behalf of federal immigration agencies. Senate Leader Phil Berger filed the North Carolina Border Protection Act. It would require some members of Governor Josh Stein's cabinet to reach an agreement with ICE. Under the agreement, state law enforcement agents could work as immigration agents. The bill would also restrict the types of immigration policies allowed within the state's university system.
Dozens more deported immigrants have been flown out of the U.S. A flight carrying 65 people arrived in Costa Rica yesterday. They are mostly from Asian countries. Costa Rica is taking them in and working to get them back to their home countries. This is the second flight of migrants that's arrived in Costa Rica from the U.S.
Next week, the 18th Airborne Corps will hold a ceremony for the renaming of Fort Bragg. They held a ceremony when it changed to Fort Liberty, and now they're doing it again. The Army post will now be named in honor of Roland Bragg, a World War II soldier. That ceremony is on March 7th.
Today, NC Central University will host its second annual Human Trafficking Symposium. The event is intended to give people strategies for trafficking prevention and support tools for survivors. It is hosted in collaboration with the State Administrative Office of the Courts and the NC Human Trafficking Commission. The event is registration only. It runs from 10 a.m. to 5:15 this evening in the School of Law's Great Hall.
Hubert Davis is signed on to be UNC's basketball coach through 2030. He signed that 2-year contract extension yesterday, and it comes with a large increase in pay from $400,000 base salary to $1.25 million.
Duke's dominance in the ACC this season now has them in the record books. The Blue Devils went to Miami last night and put on another offensive clinic. They blew out the Hurricanes 97-60. It is the 8th time this season they've beaten an ACC opponent by at least 25 points, and that's a conference record.
We're at 6:08 right now on a Wednesday. On near collision, 2 planes almost crashed in Chicago. A closer look at the moment a pilot's quick thinking prevented this disaster.
And a deadly virus spread, a measles outbreak spreading to several states. We will share warning signs of measles and who is most at risk. Elizabeth.
And we're looking at a beautiful sunrise across our area this morning. Temperatures are chilly, but I'll show you what time we climb into the 70s.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:12, here comes the sun. Does this not look gorgeous in Durham right now? Just a few clouds, that gorgeous blue sky starting to light up as that sunrise is here near the DPAC. So hopefully you can enjoy it. We do have the top of the tower here in our backyard lit in blue for the clear skies that we'll see for today. It is 34 in Lewisburg, 35 in Tarboro. I was out on the patio yesterday and I was very happy to have my coat. And I think you may be too if you're going to be out for a little bit this morning. 37 in Irwin, 37 in South Hill. So even though we start chilly, much like yesterday, we're going to see our temperatures warming up. If you were hoping to eat lunch outside, perfect day for that. Temperatures will be in the mid 60s with sunshine and the winds will be fairly light. Great for exercise today too. We'll see a high of 72. The chance of rain tomorrow, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now with the WRAL Traffic Center. We're getting reports of some type of incident on I-87 northbound near Poole Road. But as we take a look at those communities to the east of Raleigh, Nidale, Wendell, Zebulon, we're just seeing a little bit of congestion picking up there on those Highway 64 lanes coming out of Zebulon. But that's usual this time of morning. But elsewhere, all the other major routes to the points east, just free and clear this morning. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. And coming up in just a few minutes from now, I'll have another update on the morning commute.
Sounds good, Ken. Thank you. Passengers say their pilot was calm and collected as a near miss at Chicago's Midway Airport became the latest in a string of aviation scares. Take a look at this video. An airport surveillance camera caught the moment a Southwest Airlines jet climbed back into the air instead of hitting another plane taxiing through its landing runway. Southwest says their crew followed safety procedures, circled the airport, and eventually landed safely. Passengers are grateful for their pilot's quick reaction.
I just feel very thankful for who we had flying our plane.
Yes, and I was already kind of anxious going on the plane just because of what's been happening this year so far with all the flights, crashing and things happening. So I was already anxious. And then when that happened, I was extra thankful.
The FAA says the private jet entered the runway without authorization and that they will continue to investigate the near miss.
The number of people with measles in Texas is increasing. 124 people have now tested positive for measles in the western part of Texas. More than 100 of them are under the age of 18 and nearly 40 are under the age of 5. The outbreak has spread to 9 counties right near the New Mexico border. Only 5 of the cases are in people who are known to be vaccinated. Measles is considered one of the most contagious viruses in the world, and health authorities are concerned this fast-moving outbreak will keep expanding. Michelle McConaughey is here now with what we all need to know to protect ourselves and our families.
Yeah, Jeff, the CDC says infections have been reported in at least 6 other states so far, and 25% of the cases this year have resulted in hospitalizations. While there's no specific treatment for measles, public health officials say that getting vaccinated, that remains the best way to protect yourself. 2 doses of the vaccine are about 97% effective at preventing the virus. The virus has spread through tiny respiratory particles that can live in the air or on surfaces for up to 2 hours after an infected person was there.
I think that this is going to get into the hundreds of cases and could take many months to try to fully snuff out. And when you have that kind of a concentration of measles within a community, it's going to inevitably spread outside that community.
So here's what to look out for. Fever, cough, runny nose, red irritated eyes. After that, patients develop a rash that starts near the scalp and will spread down the body. And symptoms may not appear until 2 weeks after a person is exposed. The CDC says the disease is most dangerous to children under 5.
Well, Michelle, monitoring another situation that's unfolding in Congo right now, a disease, an unknown disease, according to the World Health Organization, that has claimed at least 53 lives so far. Let's run through what we know so far in this. At least 431 cases have been reported since last month of people who have experienced a few of these symptoms that I've listed here for you. We're talking about muscle aches, headaches, vomiting, and fever, just to name a few. Now, the point of origin of this appears to be in a village, and we know that at least 3 children have died, but these are also children who apparently consumed a bat. That, I think, is worth noting. But in terms of what happens next in regards to this information, that is not quite clear, but we will be monitoring very closely to see what the World Health Organization is reporting.
Protesters in Raleigh are showing their opposition to Elon Musk and President Trump. More than 100 people gathered outside the showroom of the Tesla dealership on Glenwood Avenue. They are upset with the role Musk is playing in sweeping initiatives to shrink federal spending through the Department of Government Efficiency.
I hate what Elon Musk is doing. He's taking a sledgehammer to our government, to our personal information, just vacuuming up personal information of Americans and wrecking our government.
Others do support the DOGE effort. A spokesperson for the NCGOP shared a statement with WRAL, saying in part, many states are now setting up DOGE-like entities based on the success we've seen thanks to President Trump and Elon Musk.
6:17, the time right now. You see this beautiful sunrise on the way right here. It was nice and warm yesterday, mild overnight. So we're getting a good start here on our Wednesday. Elizabeth, it's going to be another great one.
We had another day just like yesterday. And, you know, Goldilocks weather. Our high yesterday was 73 degrees, sunshine, low humidity. Doesn't get much nicer than that around here. A beautiful sunrise in progress now. Starting to see a little daylight there in Fayetteville. A pretty sunrise past the legislative building here. Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill restaurant. Chapel Hill is pointed toward the west, and so is Apex. And so we don't see that pretty bright sky yet, but it's coming for sure. We take a look at our next storm coming in. That's for tomorrow. We'll be very warm ahead of that. We'll see a strong flow out of the south tomorrow, warming us up even more into the mid-70s. Behind a front, we typically see colder air. The wind shifts to northwesterly, so it will be a little cooler on Friday. And in the meantime, we'll see this weak system coming in with a chance of rain and thunderstorms. Here's where it is right now. It did produce a few severe thunderstorm warnings right here closer to the low. This is where most of the energy is with this system, and it will stay north and head to New York. So what we'll see is the front that trails south of it. And notice there's not much rain along the central or southern part of that front. Here's the way it'll look as it comes through our area. We'll start to cloud up tomorrow around mid-morning. That's 10 a.m. We'll push it ahead and pause it at around 4 o'clock. That's when the line of showers and thunderstorms arrives. Notice that it's a fairly narrow band. It's not going to be in any one place more than maybe an hour to two at the very most. At 6 o'clock, right during the evening commute, it's going to move right across the triangle, and then it's out of the viewing area by around 8 or 9 p.m. And then after that, cooler air arrives for Friday. It may also be breezy with this as well. We may see some wind gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour, even outside of the thunderstorms that we'll see. Rain chances for tomorrow, 60%. But again, it's likely to be during the evening commute into early dinner time, and then maybe a slight chance on Tuesday. How much rain are we likely to see? It's not going to be much. We could still use some rain. This is likely to average from about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, maybe with a few spots that are a little bit higher than that. We do continue our roller coaster with the temperatures. Friday's cooler, Saturday's warmer, Sunday is cooler. Again, coming up, we're going to talk more about why we tend to see this roller coaster ride this time of year. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, thanks. Hey, listen, traffic is definitely beginning to pick up a little to the east of Raleigh this morning. We take a closer look at what we're talking about. Those Highway 64 lanes, I-87 lanes, if you will. Here's a live look at what we're talking about. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us right now. We're also getting reports of some type of incident on Fayetteville Road and Donnybrook Road down there in Holly Springs. Not causing any problems for you this morning, but if that sounds familiar to you, just know that you see some police activity as you're heading out. And if you're heading out, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
A big celebrity birthday. Paris Hilton celebrates 44 years, what she's calling the greatest gift following her star-studded special day.
And a runaway cow. DOT crews in Nevada had to corral this banded bovine, and we will watch video of the crews serving as cowboys for the day.
Screen time concerns. New data shows 40% of kids will have their own device by 2 years old. And on today, a conversation with those researchers about extreme screen time and gaps in parental supervision.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Showing off the littlest guests at a star-studded celebrity birthday party.
Also, some pretty lavish consolation prizes for top Oscar nominees. Ken Smith here now with What's Trending, Ken.
Yeah, Jeff and Renee, a lot of glitz and glamour trending this morning. Let's start with Paris Hilton sharing her 2 children, London and Phoenix, enjoying her massive 44th birthday party. In a new Instagram post, she says her kids are, quote, her greatest gifts. The little party guests were able to enjoy games and a ball pit.
I hope the adults could enjoy it as well, right? That looks super fun. Celebrities, including Snoop Dogg, Jessica Alba, Sydney Sweeney, they were all there as well to celebrate the big 4-4.
Yeah.
Wow, what's she going to have for her 45th?
Right.
And not to mention her 50th.
Big round number, yeah.
Well, we talked about glitz and glamour trending this morning. How about this? The Oscars coming up and distinctive assets showing off luxury gifts for top nominees. Now, not associated with the Academy, the marketing firm puts together lavish, quote, everyone wins gifts for the top 25 acting and directing nominees. Now, this year's gifts include a wellness retreat in Sri Lanka, 2 resort stays in the Maldives, and a lip liposuction voucher, luxury skincare products, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, it sounds pretty much in line with every other year. But what's different this year is that winners can have a donation made in their name to California wildfire victims. So
That's excellent.
Nice
great.
touch.
Department of Transportation crews in Nevada had to double as cowboys earlier this week. We have enjoyed this video all morning. They helped corral a cow that was loose near a Las Vegas freeway. And drivers say they'd been seeing the cow near the busy road for several days. So DOT crews managed to capture the cow and get it into the care of animal control.
I think he was just out in the desert for a stroll. California landmark on the move. The iconic Forever Maryland statue is on its way to a new location. That statue has been at the center of a 3-year court battle over its placement outside the entrance to the Palm Springs Art Museum. Some have said having her there was inappropriate and objectifying. Crews are moving the statue to a nearby park.
The Fuquay Marina Fire Department has 4 new fire engines. The long-awaited trucks arrived earlier this week. The town ordered the 4 engines in June of 2023. Now they will train their firefighters on the engines, install radios, and transfer equipment from the old engines to the new ones. Each truck will be placed into service as soon as it is fully equipped.
Grab the coat again. Heading out the door this morning. Temperatures are in the mid-30s to low 40s heading out the door right now. I expect mid-40s by around 8 o'clock. A nice warm afternoon. I'll show you what time we'll hit the 70s and why we're tracking some rain for tomorrow.
Boosting agriculture. State leaders will consider $500 million in aid for farmers. How recent legislation, though, could affect their decision.
And the state of schools, an update from Wake County Superintendent. The main areas of concern in public schools we expect to be addressed.